Hello, Scott from Wessex Blaze. I'm in my garage now. It's Sunday, and I've been working on a part of a commission, and the commission is for Kenny, and it's basically using his kukri and the Hornet and coming up with a piggyback system. No, I've done a cardboard knock-up, and then I did a load of leather with double-sided tape. It's basically just putting it together. And I've got to a point that I've had to make a decision. Now, it's entirely up to you, Kenny, and I could carry on with what we discussed earlier, but it's something that I come across all the time working in a school, and that is that a student would spend a considerable amount of time doing drawings, and to them it's very personal, and they've put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's their little baby. And then we might do a little activity where it'd be four on a bench on these big square workbenches, and each one would peer assess everybody else's work, and it would shift round. Okay. Suggestions by somebody else that they would really take it to heart, and the last thing that they would want to do is change any aspect whatsoever of the design, because they've put 3 hours of work into it, and now if to take on some suggestion would actually require very little work, a piece of rubber and to draw it again, but they don't want to change their design. Okay, they've set on that course and they don't want to change themselves. They're completely inflexible. It's something that we've got to try and work with the student in order to appreciate that, you know, you've gone down this road, but you're not necessarily making a product that would be designed for yourself. Only it's for the broad spectrum of what the community would be, or, you know, the design brief would be design something. It's not necessarily design something for you, and it's, you know, as a single person. So with that in mind, and I'm not trying to make myself out to be some genius or something, but there's a lot of paintings out there done by, you know, proper artists. They've been in the gallery and they've been on display for hundreds of years, and then the curator might end up doing a restoration and they end up x-raying it, and underneath is another piece of work, or maybe even two pieces of work, where the guy who did the painting or the drawing would have sketched it out, drawn it out, maybe even painted it to some degree, and then thought, do you know what, I'm not happy with it. That perhaps the Fibonacci curves weren't right, perhaps the squares within squares, the proportions, the lines, it wasn't right. And it got to a point when, despite however much investment of time and effort and toil had gone into it, it's worth, no, we've got to start again. Now, considering that, my quandary with this was, you have a kukri and you have a Hornet, and I was trying to put these two together, the proportions, the sizes, stumpy little thing, elegant, sweeping. There was no harmony in the design for me, and maybe it was something that he came across with the design of the Hornet, and he thought, well, that'd be nice having those two piggyback rather than the Charnac and these two little blades on the back. And so he was thinking, well, I'll have, oh, it's great. You're still getting the Hornet, but my heart isn't sitting happily with the design of marrying together a big sweeping blade like that and that particular blade there. The only thing that works on it is the point. It's very similar to the point. The actual shapes are very similar, but you don't view those and you don't see those on a sheath mounted system, or wherever I was going to put it, side by side. That there was no harmony with it. So, tired out of you, Kenny. You still get this. I'll do a separate sheath and it'll be a necker or something. But what I thought was this. So I've been drawing, designing, making some ideas. I make that slightly smaller than what it is on the paper. I call it a Wessex kukri. And I think that the handle that's on view, the shape of the handle as it goes to the blade, however I'm going to stitch it in with the system of the piggyback and everything else that is going on to there, to me as a system, I don't want to let something go out that's like a hodgepodge design, you know, something that's tagged on something else. I mean, you know, there must be loads and loads of things, and you just look at that design and go, oh, they just piggybacked that straight on the top. They've just literally bolted it on. I don't want that. If you're out in the woods and you want a distinctive system that works, I don't care how much effort I'm putting in. I want you to have something that is just, you know, a team player, a tag team bit of kit that's going out. And not only that the two blades work together as partners, but it all just blends together in harmony. That's the only word I can put it to, the harmony. And this with that was too short and stumpy to have a sheath on the side, and I just wasn't happy with it. I will do a mock-up of this if you're up for it. It will be very thin profile. This blade here will be a full convex, so there's no actual start point where that is. It's going to be very thin. It's going to be a real slicer, but still forming at the top. So like that is full convex. That's what that's going to be. But even with that little dash of recurve in it, the depth of the blade there, you can have a very, very purposeful tool. The ricasso I've kept very large, so that basically acts as a choil, and I've kept in keeping with the rib halfway up the handle, just to give it more purchase, because it's going to be quite a thin profile blade, so it'll slip into the sheath system that I'm designing. The ones I was coming out with just didn't go together, and I'd much rather spend a little bit more time. And don't you dare send anything over. Okay? This is me literally trying to send something out that I'm happy with when I think I say that I'm a designer. And I think this will sit with that a lot happier. So if that's alright with you, message me back. But I know there's been a lot of time drawing and stuff, but I want a proper job. So a West Creeder, and that's for Kenny. Thanks for your time. Cheers.